War begins. The U.S. deploys 1,000 Himars and anti-ship missiles to near China islands. Washington, with the U.S. military locked in on what it sees as a long-term competition with the People's Republic of China for ascendancy in the Indo-Pacific region. Two services seeking to pivot away from heavy ground conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan are looking toward missiles as a ticket to relevance in a potential future conflict. The U.S. Marine Corps and the U.S. Army are both working toward fielding long-range strike and anti-ship missiles to hold Chinese targets at risk within the first and second island chains. Both have talked about putting supplies, gear and forces forward to be able to rapidly respond in a crisis. And both are actively discussing sacrificing older equipment and upgrades for current equipment to help pay for the modernization they need. The expectation in the Pentagon, however, is that the military will see flat defense budgets at best going forward. Some defense watchers argue that limited resources means the funding may depend on whose concepts carry the most weight among defense planners. Others, however, believe a potential China problem is big enough that there are plenty of missions to go around. Previously, long-range strike was the domain of the Navy and Air Force from carriers, vertical launch missile tubes on submarines and surface combatants and from land-based fighters and bombers. But the demise of the Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty has opened up long-range ground fires as a means of countering China's capabilities in that area. China was not a party to that treaty, and the U.S. Pacific Command for years bemoaned as unfair the advantage the treaty gave the Chinese in the theater. General David Berger's plan for the Marine Corps seeks to change the force from a land-heavy force to a light, primarily maritime force that can fight, maneuver and threaten Chinese forces inside the South and East China Seas, and has said he wants to do it at no extra cost. Part of that plan, divest fully from tanks, and cut the number of tube artillery batteries from 16 to 5. For the trade, the Marines are looking to massively grow the number of mobile rocket batteries from 7 to 21. In addition, the Marines are adding both the Navy's new anti-ship naval strike missile and its Tomahawk missile to its ground fire quiver, in order to threaten Chinese ships. But the Army is also getting into the strike game, and has made long-range precision fires its top modernization priority. The service is working toward a 2023 fielding of its precision strike missile, which will have a range of as much as 550 kilometers. The minimum range prohibited under the INF Treaty was 500 kilometers. The service is also working on a new seeker to be able to target ships, which should be fielded by 2025. In a 2019 interview, the Army's lead on long-range precision fires, Brig General John Rafferty told Defense News that as much as 750 kilometers or further was possible. The Army is also working toward fielding its long-range hypersonic weapon in a battery by 2023, which will be shot from a road mobile launcher. In August, Army Chief of Staff Gen. James McConville said the Army, like the Marine Corps, was ready to make cuts to existing capabilities in order to make its future investments a reality. We know we need long-range precision fires. That is our #1 priority, and so we are developing hypersonic capability right now, McConville said. One of the things that we are taking a look at is how we divest And this can be a challenge as you look at some of these systems we have that some would like us to continue to purchase. In comments this month to Defense News, Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy said that by 2023, the Army was going to start seeing significant divestment in older systems. We're basically lining ourselves up for the 23 program where you will see a much more aggressive effort, McCarthy said. The choices are going to get bigger and tougher, but that's necessary as modernized programs begin to be fielded, he said. That will force us to make harder calls with legacy systems that will have to be forced to end their service life. The focus on Pacific-focused capabilities is a matter of the Army reading the writing on the wall, but it doesn't mean they are necessarily trying to steal missions from the Marine Corps, said Dakota Wood, a retired Marine officer and analyst at the Heritage Foundation. The services are always trying to prove their relevance, Wood said, adding that as the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan start to wind down, the next big bogey is China. And, so, the cynic might say that the Army is just trying to invent missions because they do not want to lose budget share, lose their prominence among the services.